What it is, people, it's your boy Doggy Diamonds, you know me. And I'm gonna introduce y'all to a personal friend of mine, my big brother right here. Y'all know him from his music. Y'all seen his face before, but y'all know him from the music. He got a whole lot of hits. We ain't gonna run them all for y'all, but just go to Ready to Die album, go to Project Funk the World, go to a few albums. This is Easy Mo B right here.
Peace.
Mo, what's going on?
What's up?
It probably feel weird for him, cause
Yeah, cause I know dog.
yeah,
Like I really know dog.
yeah, like
you know what I
we
mean?
go way
That's
way
my
back.
peoples from around the way.
Exactly.
You know what
So
I mean? In the early formation of Biggie. Matter of fact, let's take it back to earlier to Biggie Smalls.
exactly.
Okay, remember when it was a white dude out there that was named Biggie Smalls too, and Biggie had to change the name and all of that?
Mm-hmm.
As far back as that, you know what I mean? Dog, Trife, everybody. You know what I'm saying? His cousin right now on the camera,
Yep.
behind the lens, it's all in the family. We go back that far. It's
So
only right.
so when his agency called me to do the interview, I said I was gonna call him and tell him that it was me, but then I was like, nah, let me surprise him because he's gonna be shocked that it's me here.
Right, when
And
I
actually, we
walked in.
just spoke a month. We spoke a month ago, me and you.
Yeah,
I called
yeah,
you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So let the people know. I think they know the history, but I could go on record and say Easy Mo B is the originator of the Bad Boy Record sound. I'ma say that. He don't have to say it because he real modest and he cool, but I'ma say that because before, you remember when they was putting the bank behind Big, right?
Right.
And then you did Flavor in Your Ear,
Craig Mack. no
Craig
doubt.
Mack, and that record changed hip hop.
Basically, it kind of like, you know, at that time right there, what you had Snoop Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
The West Coast was really
They had it. They
winning
had it.
right there. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You had the Chronic, Dr. Dre just finished coming out in '92. And you had Snoop album. You had a whole lot of stuff. That the G Funk was really the
Yeah.
influence right there. So you know when Flavor in Your Ear came along.
Yeah.
It was like the most different sounding thing at the time, and everybody gravitated towards it, and it just changed the whole direction of what everybody was doing.
Where I think the term flavor got like that was just like, remember Hot 90, Hot 97, Flavor in Your Ear, like
Yeah.
everything was about flavor at
Yeah,
the time.
yeah, you're right. Hot 97. Yeah, they
Yeah.
even stuck that up into their slogan.
Exactly, yeah.
Word.
And a lot of people bit the Flavor in Your Ear snare too. I ain't gonna call no producers out, but it's on a lot of albums after that, like Redman album, Eric Sermon used it. I
Oh,
called
it's
him
all
out.
right. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. It's all
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with,
It's
you know,
alright.
they know what it is. So when you, first of all, a lot of producers ask me, because they know I know you, what was the elements in Flavor in Your Ear music? What exactly is the sounds in there? The
Well,
instruments.
Well, of course, you got kick, snare, hi-hat, real generic sounding,
Mhm.
real drum sounds, not no, synthesized type. You had a real generic sounding bass in there. It's really kind of like stabs, though, not no real long.
Mhm.
What else? You had a extended reverb of a guitar
You
lick.
told me it was a guitar, yeah.
Yeah, and then you had that siren.
Yeah.
And then on the hook also too, I had this like rock sounding
The
guitar.
yeah.
It wasn't that much. It was real simple, but it worked. You know what I mean? Sometimes less is more.
So at that particular time, I remember coming to your crib one day, and you was just playing a lot of music, and you had a lot of different sounding music. You had the Flavor in Your Ear-ish music, but you had like a wide range of different type of beats. Around that time when you was getting the calls, I think everybody wanted Flavor in Your Ear from you.
I hated that.
Yeah, I want you to speak on that.
Like you do something great, and that greatness is that greatness.
Mhm.
But you got to be finished with that and move on.
Uh-huh.
And people just didn't want to let go. Everybody wanted a Flavor in Your Ear.
So as a producer, because I think that might be happening to some of the producers that's out right now.
Yeah, you'll burn yourself out. You'll burn you and your sound out. I mean, there's got to be room left for you to be able to, move on and kind of expand into something else. That's not the only thing that you can or will do.
Hmm.
You know.
So also, you one of the only producers that worked with Tupac and Big. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
That actually did a studio session with both of them, and then separate.
Right.
What was it's like? Walk them through that. Let them know what the studio session was like with Pac and Big. I know what it was like with Big, but let them know what it was like.
Well, first of all, y'all, where I recorded a lot of that Pac stuff at was in the classic Unique Studios right there, 47th Street and 7th Avenue. I just gave you the address, but it's all right. It's okay. um, I have one of them rooms in there now. Unique
Okay.
shut down. The building management asked me would I like to take over a room, and I said yeah. So I'm basically I got the old Studio B and Unique, and take for instance like Pac. He would at that time he had court.
Hmm.
He had a lot of court that he was going to, and he would go to court like all day. You know, court hours are like from what, like 9
Yeah, it
to,
vary.
to
It
4.
varies sometimes. Yeah.
Court
And they
closed
take
like
lunch. Yeah.
court closed like 4 o'clock,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Okay, so every day we had studio set at 6 o'clock. So I'm just guessing that what this is what his schedule was. That he was in court all day from 9 to 4, right?
Hmm.
And then from if the studio was at 6, I would figure that he had a break from 4 to 6, and yo, he would just come like busting through the door at 6 o'clock, hardly ever late, hardly ever, always on time. Walk through the door. First thing he said, "Moby, roll me a blunt."
Mm.
I was like, wow. He's like, as soon as he come in, he start giving orders. My engineer Eric, he got to know him. Eric, you pull up the song from the other day, Moby. I want you to load up all them other beats and everything, and then after this, then we gonna get to this. Yo, he was so full of energy, man.
And what
It was-
what
it
did
was-
that do for you as a producer?
Just like kept me like seriously on my toes. Not that I already am not,
Hmm.
but like he just made it known that like, okay, we're here to work. We're here to work, and you're gonna talking to the engineer. You're gonna do this, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do that, and in comparison to working with Big in the studio, Big's whole process was like more laid back.
He was a comedian. I don't think a lot of people do
This is
that.
Big right here. All right, yeah.
Whatever, Mo.
You playing the music. He's sitting there like this, just nodding for like about an hour. You thinking he ain't doing nothing? He's sitting there for an hour, writing in his head. Then out of nowhere he jump up, start walking towards the booth. All right, Mo, let's do it. I said, yo, you didn't write nothing down. He said, I got you. He go in the booth and knock out 3 verses. I'm like, yo, how did this do this? And then later on, come to find out that ends up being the process for Jay-Z too.
Hmm.
Jay-Z, I don't know if Jay-Z went through a period where he was writing
Mhm.
and then made the transition to writing in his head, but you know, I just think that's amazing, man, that people can store that much information
In their head.
up in their head. You know, you have to do like 2 or 3 verses times how many songs they ever did.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man. You
And,
know.
and it's funny that you bring up Jay-Z because you also work with Jay-Z also. Big
On-
Jay-Z. I
on
love the dope.
On the second album, Life
Yeah, I
After
love-
Death, for I Love the Dough, yeah, with featuring Jay-Z and
Angela Wimbush
Angela
also.
Wimbush.
I heard the story of the Angela Wimbush. Tell the people the story just in case they hear the story how she actually came to the studio to lay the vocals for that, right?
I wasn't even there.
Oh, okay.
I laid the tracks for I Love the Dough
Mhm.
and Going Back to Cali.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, let me tell you about the Going Back to Cali session, the tracking session. I came in and I laid the track. D-Dot was the recording engineer.
Mhm.
Him and this other dude, I forgot who it was, but they tracked it. Big and Jay-Z, they both in the studio over there at Daddy's house on 45th, 44th.
Mhm.
They both in the studio like this, just pacing back and forth. Well, imagine 2 dudes pacing back and
Mhm.
forth, mumbling to themselves. They both doing this, you know, writing up in their head thing. Then they did that for about an hour or so, you know. Then Big, after I had tracked the song, I'm sitting over there watching him do that. He come over to me and tell me, yo, Big, he said, yo, Mo, me and Jigga, we gonna step out for a minute. We'll be right back. That's the last time I ever saw him.
Wow.
That's the last time I ever saw him. because the mix downs for going back to Cali and I Love the Dough, I didn't get called back for the mix down.
Okay.
Like somebody else mixed my records, and I love.
Mixing,
I gotta be at the mix downs for my
Yeah.
records. That's important. Like the EQs and everything. But I don't know. I guess there was a rush for the the wrapping up of the album. So.
When you
But the records sound good though.
Yeah,
They
it
sound
sound-
good, especially going back to Cali. It sounds good.
when I remember at that particular time, I think me and you spoke around the time he was doing the second album. You was giving him music, and you said he picked. You played a lot of music from him, and you told me he picked the more bounce from you, and he was doing the going back to Cali record.
Yeah.
You also was telling me like you didn't think that was a good idea to do that record,
Which one?
the going back to Cali.
No. Anything with more bounce or zap in it is always a good idea.
I mean, as
What
far
I
as the
didn't,
concept,
what,
yeah.
what I didn't think was a good idea, cause what was it? One of the last times while Big was alive, you know the store, the corner store
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there
yeah.
on Washington and Fulton.
Mm-hmm.
You know I went in there one night, and this is when I was smoking. I don't even smoke no more. I just went and caught me 2 of them 20s, man. You know what I'm saying? I went in the store, was gonna get me some Phillies, go back up to the apartment, and what was that I seen? I think it was Trife or no, Blake.
Yeah.
Blake came in the store. He just happened to come in the store at the same time, and he said, "Yo, did you hear? You heard Big what Big and them did to your joint?" I said, "Nah." He said, "Yo, they laced you, right?" So I heard the song finally, and it was going back to Cali. When he first started rapping, I thought it was derogatory.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like kind of like dissing Cali.
Oh, okay.
And you know the tension
It was crazy at that time.
at that particular time, man. I was like, I'm not for that, man.
Yeah.
You know, I produced the record. I don't
Yeah.
want nobody dragging me into that. But when you really, really listen to this, to the song, it's an ode to California.
Yeah, it's homage, paying homage to
Yeah, it's
Cali.
paying homage. It's an ode to California. It's, you know. So at first, I thought that's what it was about. That's what it really was.
Yeah, as I think before you heard the record, you spoke,
Yeah.
and you was like, "Yo, I don't think that's a good idea." I didn't hear the record at the time, so I was
Yeah,
like,
I did. Now, regardless of the fact that I worked with both Biggie and Pac, I did my best and tried to stay away from the controversial part of all of that. Actually, you could look at me as somebody like in the middle.
"Yeah,
You know, to this day, I still wonder if if Puffy is mad and upset because I was working with Pac and all that. Let me tell you something. I am a businessman.
yeah." Explain that.
I'm a businessman. If somebody wants me to work with them, I'm gonna work with them. And besides, anyway, I was working with them separately and both together while they were friends and while everybody was cool. I remember being up in Studio C in Unique. That's where we recorded "Running from the Police," which became knocked down entitled to just "Running."
That Eminem in the
And that
remix.
Eminem remix, y'all listening to and that y'all know of, that's a remix. That's not the original. Just
Okay.
want to let you know.
See, I just heard
There
some
is
facts.
an
right
original out there.
there. Who has the original?
Well, the original was on the 1 Million Strong album.
Okay.
Ben Chavis had put that album out at
Okay.
that time, just trying to influence some unity in the hip hop game at that time. Yeah.
So how many records did you record with Pac?
There's On Me Against the World, there's Temptation,
If I Die Tonight.
and If I Die Tonight. Those 2 songs on that album.
Okay.
See, what we did is we recorded a whole batch
Okay.
of songs, and then he took them and dispersed them to different projects.
So the point I'm asking is that who has the unreleased material that didn't make the albums? Who has it?
We get to that.
Okay.
We gonna get to that.
All right.
I gotta watch it, man. I'm
Okay.
saying too much on that. Yeah, people. But you got Temptations, If I Die Tonight on Me Against the World. Then we did something called My Block.
That's on the show soundtrack.
He threw that on
The
the
show
show,
soundtrack.
Russell Simmons, the show soundtrack. Then you had Straight Ballin'. He took that and he threw that on his Thug Life album. I was like, this dude is smart, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's real smart. Like, he could have took all them songs and
Put
put
them
it
on
on
one
one
project.
album,
Mhm.
but he just spread himself out over the course of about 3-4 different projects with just my
So he didn't answer who has the unreleased Tupac, so we'll get that another time.
well, there's a my brother LG, big shout, man.
Shout out to LG, that's the producer, Ill
Yeah.
Scratch. Just in
Yeah.
case y'all don't know, they got the same face.
Where my homies?
Yeah, where my homies.
Creeping through
I
the
take
hood.
her.
My brother LG did that. Yeah.
Also the Jizza,
Yeah, man.
the Boogie Monsters. We'll get LG another day. He got his
yeah,
own
yeah,
thing, you know.
yeah.
He
But there's an unreleased version of Out on Bail
okay.
that my brother LG did. There's some alternate mixes out there on Temptations. What else? I didn't do too much with him
Hmm.
that wasn't released. You know what I mean? He kind of like pretty much used everything that I did with him.
What about Big? How much unreleased material did y'all have? Because I
Oh.
know y'all had a lot of records. Some stuff, I think Ready to Die. The original mix y'all did couldn't get cleared.
Yeah, because of the sample.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a Young Rascal sample in there.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dog,
I
you know.
remember that. Yeah, you know I know.
Yeah. Because of sampling reasons, we couldn't clear that. What else? What You Want, Nigga? That's Jay-Z ended up being on a remix version that was on the Biggie duets.
Yeah. Hmm.
But there's an original to that. The original version to that ain't never seen the light of day. And he got this joint he did. I can't remember the title. I got it on Dat at home. We don't even play Dat
Dat.
no more.
For y'all young dudes,
Dat.
that was the original
We don't even
place
play
you
Dat
put your
no
music
more.
at.
Some joint called Money, Hoes, Clothes. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
And he got it, so maybe we can hear it one day.
That's all I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
That's all I
I
remember.
always want to ask you, why did you change the drums on Warner? Because the drums you have on there is not the original drums. I heard the original drums. Nah, you had those are different drums. The original drums you had on there, you know the drums. I'm gonna tell you the same drums from going way back.
Okay, maybe there was EQ'd
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
differently,
yeah.
but those was always the drums. Maybe you hearing a different EQ because
Probably.
I remember because I offered that beat to Big Daddy Kane first,
Wow,
and he turned it down.
wow.
We was at my crib. I used to live right there, 430 Clinton, between
Yep.
Gates and Green.
I was
Like
on Waverly,
Chubb Rock-
it was
Chubb
right around the
Rock-
corner.
Like Chubb Rock said.
Yep.
And Ix Kane, the beat was playing. You know, this was Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
You know, Kane was into the Isaac Hayes, Barry White, that whole thing. I was like, yo, Kane, this is you. You want this? And I remember he was like, play the next beat. I said, yo, you sure about that, man? I was like, yo, this is you, man. I mean, I said, you sure? He said, he looked at me again and said, play the next beat. I said, all right,
Fine.
man.
And I want to tell the people one thing. Like, Moby is like one of the people who mentored me. Because when I was like starting in here, I used to call him. I used to go crazy. Like, yo, this person didn't do this, and I used to talk about I'm gonna shoot this person. We gonna beat them up. And he was the first person to tell me that, yo, this is how the industry is. This is how the game is. He told me that some of the same people that he ended up doing music for is the same people that told him to get that whack shit out of here. He told me people used to slam doors in his face.
Oh, yeah.
So he told me, I think the saying you said was just, when you blow up, then you could show up. That's exactly what you said, and I'll never
Yeah.
forget that. Maybe like 14 years ago, you told
Yeah.
me that. And the
Yeah.
point that I'm making is that a lot of y'all out there right now probably get denied. You get, people tell you whack and all that.
Yeah.
But if you persistent and you consistent
Definitely, man.
and you believe in yourself,
Definitely.
you can make it.
Persevere, man, and make sure to just continue and stay at it what you're doing. And don't ever feel like you got to change yourself.
For
you
other
know,
people.
For other people, or to try to fit into anything. The way I'm talking, the way I'm expressing myself sitting here, me, this is me, man.
Yeah, always.
I'm not going to ever change for anybody, and if people can't accept me for that, then they can't accept me. But so far y'all have.
Yeah.
So I'm all right, right?
Yeah.
I'm cool.
They when they want that vintage sound. I remember like me and you just talk about a lot of stuff. We ain't gonna put some of the stuff on camera, but you told me like you was the first person to give the people hi-hat. That another producer is famous for. And another producer is famous for it. Pete Rock.
Oh yeah,
It's famous. It's famous for the give the people hi-hat. I remember Mo told me, yo, I used that hi-hat a long
that's
time
one
ago.
of the sweetest hi-hats.
The sweetest hi-hats
I ever heard of before, but it's long and it's extended. Let's just say like you got one that's short, like well it's
Yeah.
and Pete used to just be like
Yeah, he just he did.
and after a while I was like, you know what?
He can have it.
Yeah, I gotta shorten them up, man.
So
Diversify.
a lot of people probably asking right now. You had a string of records that you came out with in the '90s.
Yeah.
Then from a period of time, we didn't hear any music from you, or we didn't know you did the music. Where have you been, and what made you seem like you took a break from the industry for a little while?
Okay, I actually didn't take no kind of break. Let's go to say like somewhere like around 98. Now let's say like around 99 going on 2000, around there right there. I had the Now or Never Odyssey 2000 album out on Priority, and it saw the light of day, but I don't think it was promoted as much as it should have been, and a lot of people didn't really know about it, and they didn't see it. They just didn't know it was there. But it was a lot of strong music on there, man. As a matter of fact,
G-Rap, Jinx the Juvie.
Yeah, to this day, as a matter of fact, if you go back and you listen to that album, a lot of people will say like, "Yo, what happened, man?
Yeah.
This was banging." But ever since then, I say for the last 8 years, man, music has changed so much.
Yeah.
Man. You know, in terms of like the Southern influence, choice of equipment, a lot of reasons, a lot of different things, and I'm not saying that I'm not able to change up, switch up, or anything like that, but it's just like the sound has changed, and a lot of what I do is kind of, it sticks more and is more closely associated with hip hop. And when I say hip hop, I mean
Authentic,
real hip hop
vintage.
as we know it.
Yeah.
And there's only like select few amount of people out there that's really with that. You know, right now I think a lot of other people are just really just into just doing things that seem like they just for the moment. Like I'm not into things for the moment. I'm in it for the long haul, man. Maybe that's some of the reason why some of the, not some, but a lot of the records that I did, they still play today.
Yeah.
Somewhere, some of my records is playing on the radio right now.
As we speak.
That's right. Like during primetime radio, during the daytime, I hear these records, they still get stuck in there, and they pop up and they coming up. So what I'm trying to say to you is like, the music that I do, that I would like to do, is for long term, man. You know, I'm not really like a for the moment type of dude, and I never really been into copying people and jumping on bandwagons and stuff like that. So it's all about getting picked. When you're out there and you shopping your tracks, it's all about whether people are feeling you and picking you or not.
Well, recently you end up doing Wu-Tang music.
Yeah.
You end up doing Alicia Keys music. Tell the people how all that came about.
Okay, well, RZA.
Y'all go way back. A lot of people don't know that. Tell them the first record you did for RZA.
I looked in Wikipedia and it says that I did Ooh, We Love You, Rakim. No, I did the B-side.
Okay.
To Ooh, We Love You, Rakim. That was 1990. Tommy Boy Records. RZA had a single deal, and I did the B-side to it. From there, him and Malquan and Shabazz, they introduced me. They was like, "Yo, G, we got something that's crazy. It's called the Wu-Tang." He's got martial arts connected to it and everything. So they introduced me to Genius. It started off with Genius. We ended up doing an album together, Words from the Genius, on Cold Chillin'. I did 10 songs. My brother did 4. And then the other one song was done by Jesse West, Come Do Me. That was the single.
Third Eye, Jesse West.
That's right. Yep. And from there, I met True Master, all of the Wu-Tang. I remember True Master, he spent a lot of time at my apartment in Brooklyn on Clinton. He was telling me, he's like, yo, we putting something together, man. And then I'll never forget the Protect Your Neck, the single, the orange and yellow single on the label. He came to the crib one day, and I remember these was his exact words. He said, "We did it, G. We did it." And he brought the single. He came and gave me, you know, a copy and everything. See, the copy I got is I didn't buy it. They gave it to me.
Vinyl.
Yeah, I got an original copy. Okay, courtesy of Wu themselves came and brought it to me. So, yeah.
So you did
And from that, and hold on, and then I want to clarify this, and then from that point on right there, they kind of like, they was they self, man. They always was independent. They did their own thing. I was always closely associated with them and knew them real well. And way later on this album here, then I come back to do Take It Back.
Where he slaughtered Nautilus, like butchered it, just made it sound like a whole new record.
Yeah. So they family, man. You know, Old Dirty. I got cassette demos. You hear me? Cassette. We don't even play cassette no more.
They don't even know cassette.
I got cassette demos when Old Dirty and Genius used to come to my house and basically plug a microphone in the back of the mic mixer, and I'm hitting the 1200, and we doing demos live there, just like that. So we know each other that well, and we go that far back. And a lot of y'all, I've been doing a lot of talking. A lot of y'all might not know who you looking at, and what I've done. Let me run it down.
He gonna run it down. I'm gonna step back.
Let me run it down to you.
We got enough tape.
Okay, the first thing that I ever did to put me into the game was Big Daddy Kane on his second album. It's a Big Daddy thing. That's called Mr. Welfare and Another Victory. After that was The Genius that we just spoke about. Not too long after that, I did a little string of remixes from Third Base to Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag.
Listen, Pink Cookies in the. Listen, I gotta.
LL Cool J.
Listen, no. I'm gonna cut in because that's like my favorite beat. That's the beat that Mobb Deep used for Give Up the Goods. The same sample.
Maddie C and them, they came to me and asked me what was the sample.
Look at that.
So that they could do Give Up the Goods. They was like, Moby, what's that? And I told them. And
let me tell you, before he go into his go back into, I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite Moby records that a lot of people don't know he did. The Freddie Fox, the Rough record.
Tough?
So tough. Every time they held me,
you
did the
remember that?
I remember hip hop. They know I'm a hip hop historian.
Okay, but after that, Miles Davis, Doo-Bop, that was like a jazz hip hop hybrid where me and Miles came together in the studio. Basically, I constructed beats, and he was just like playing over. It was, you know, the press ate me up. They tore that album apart. Of course, you know, jazz purists, man, they had their way with it. But when you really look at it right now and you go back and you listen to it, man, it was a work of art. I don't care what no jazz purists or anybody says.
You got some hardware behind that too.
It was a work of art. All you got to do is put that CD in, listen to that album. It's the first song that opens the album up. It's this joint called Mystery. Oh, man. That was basically acid jazz. You know, a lot of the stuff that you still hear right now and everything. But from there on, after Miles Davis, then you had Who's the Man soundtrack. The first song me and Big did, Party and Bullshit. Then after that came Ready to Die, and Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear. A lot of stuff happened right there with that whole MCA Uptown connection. You had the Lost Boys, Jeeps like Scoops, Beamers in the Benz, Is This the Part, and Lifestyles of the Rich and Shameless. And you got Pac, Me Against the World, Thug Life album. You got King Just, No Flows on the Rodeo. You got LL Cool J on Mr. Smith album. You got Queen Latifah, Public Enemy, man, it goes on and on. Most Def, Alicia Keys.
I got one more. My favorite record. The oh, Ill Out Scratch. Chill with that remix.
Oh, the Chill with that remix.
I love that shit.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of remixes.
Yeah, that you actually like. You know, it ain't too many producers that put their mark down in the game. And right now, if whatever DJ's on the radio is gonna play one of your records in their set, like when they play the old school at noon, and we say old school, but it's not really that old because it's still relevant, and people still sampling you. So what I wanted to ask you too, from a producer, you know, we had the same setup. Like I kind of copied you. You had the SP1200 and the 950.
Yeah.
What is it about you that didn't get you? Because you know some people say, you still got SP1200? You still got the 950? They look at me and they laugh. But then when I hit play, they say, man, I want to get me an SP1200. Not knowing that you're not going to get it unless you spend a grip of money for it right now.
Right.
What is it about you that you didn't get caught up in the technology of music, buying all this crazy equipment and all that stuff?
Well, it's like, it's a circuitry thing, man. I like the sound of the 1200. It's got this by the way, too, big shout out to my man Keith Majors. You know what I'm saying? We're using his studio for
we
this
had
interview right now.
Yeah, we kind of bogarted a little bit today.
And that's all right, baby. I got nothing but love. Y'all supposed to be in here.
When I came in his studio, you know what I'm saying, I happened to look over there in the corner, and he's got this, like, nice little collection of vinyl and everything, and a lot of all of that old music and all of that stuff, it was recorded a certain way, man. It was an analog process to it. And the SP1200 gives you that. You know what I mean? What RZA has sampled and did that whole Enter the 36 Chambers with, the ASR9, ASR10,
10,
whatever. Same thing, man. You know what I mean? It has that analog type sound. That's what I'm into.
Yeah.
That's what I'm into. As long as I can tie that in with the Pro Tools.
Yeah.
Fine, cool, we good. And a lot of people, they will look at me, like you said, like, yo, why you still using that? But come on, man, I've done Alicia Keys and Miles Davis with a SP1200. Like Kanye West said, you can't tell me nothing.
And that's a message for all y'all. So right now, who does, and this is a big thing right here, because everybody's gonna take this and they're gonna run with this. It's gonna be the point of the interview where, who is Mo B feeling right now in the industry? Who do you listen to that's out right now?
Yo, the records that I like, people probably never even heard them before, and they probably not even out. Big Suge, he got this joint featuring Billy Dance from MOP, and another kid named, what was his name? I forgot this dude. He's a new dude, but I forgot the name of the song.
Singapore Kane, right? Not that one?
No.
Singapore Kane, I think it's another one. Singapore Kane Terminology. I know the album I know the record.
Yeah, Terminology. I'm feeling him. Corrupt got this joint called Yes Sir. I don't know if anybody heard that. Big shout out to my man Pete Rock. I call him up all the time, tell him how banging I think
that record with him and Pete Rock is retarded.
You heard it? Yes Sir?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's some of the stuff that I'm liking. I like what T.I. is doing. You know what I mean? I like what, what's her name? I mean, we allowed to still go a little outside of hip-hop.
Do whatever you want to do.
I think Jasmine Sullivan is one of the greatest things, man, to come along right now. And kind of remind people that soul and real singing is still important. You know, so I'm really, really feeling her, too.
I remember, let me tell y'all a story about Mo B. He was coming, because this man right here is a record, when people say record diggers and people who dig for records, he came to me one day. I was standing, because we lived right around the corner from each other. And I think I was at the corner store. He said, yo, in Mo B voice, we imitated, because, you know, this is just how he is. He said, yo, I was going by this spot, and they were selling, he bought 8-track tapes. You remember when you told me you bought some 8-tracks?
Yeah.
He bought 8-track tapes he bought 8-track tape, and I'm not even going to tell y'all, like, you know, we're not going to give y'all everything. Y'all got to do y'all homework. Look up what an 8-track tape is.
Some people don't even know.
Look it up.
Look, the concept of Party and Bullshit came from the tapes that, you know, the merchants, the dudes be selling out there on Nostrand and Fulton. They was selling, like, you know how they make up their own greatest hits and sell them on cassette.
Talking about like the Slave
They had
Theater.
the Last Poet's greatest hits.
Yeah, by the
So
Slave
I took
Theater.
it home and I'm listening to that. Me and Biggie was doing the project at the time. I said, I drove around there on Fulton, you know where it used to be in front of the fish spot and all of that, the chicken spot. He was out there on the app. I told him, I said, yo, jump in. Let's take a ride. Played it to him. You know, the end of it where the Last Poets, they finishing up the routine, the skit, and they said, you know, and I know, niggas love party and bullshit and party and he played that. I played that to him. He was like, yo, Mo, I like that. These was his exact words. He was like, yo, hook that up. So we go in the studio and we do the song. Yo, this dude took the record and totally flipped the meaning on it.
Yeah.
The Last Poets was saying,
Yeah.
us as black people, basically they was saying we need to get our stuff together and stop partying and bullshitting. He took the record and flipped it around to a record where he really was
partying and bullshit.
And I was like, this dude, man, just
So-
just crazy. You had to love him though, man.
So
you had to love him.
what out of every artist you work with, this is a hard question for you too. Out of every artist you work with, what was your favorite studio session, if you can remember?
Working with Miles Davis, it's a lot of them, man. The time I spent in the studio with Pac,
Okay.
working with Big, this dude is just a comedian.
Comedian, they don't know that.
And you know, another thing too I want to tell you, for a lot of y'all people out there who don't know Alicia Keys is the most down-to-earth person, man. One of the most sincere people, man. And she's totally open arms and down to earth. You're in the studio with her. You was in the studio, she had her Timbs, you know, strings untied. I come to the studio, she come in. What's up, Mo B?
You
What's up?
was expecting to see
Ready
this
lay
diva?
down?
Yeah. You was expecting to see this diva when you walked in there?
Nah,
Oh.
she ain't
Okay.
on that. She ain't on that. You know, I love Alicia, man. She's one of the most down to earth and most sincere people, and very humble too. Yet very, very talented, very creative. That's why she is where she is today, right now.
So we gave them a history lesson that we just had to make sure they know, cause I don't think they know. Y'all sleeping on my man, fronting on my man. Y'all gonna know after y'all see this. Y'all know how I do. Let's bring them up to today, 2008 going into 2009. What is Easy Mo B working on right now?
Okay, in the studio over there that I got, I'm calling it Honeycomb Studio.
Okay.
Always got to try to attach something to the B. Get it? Easy Mo.
B Mo Easy.
Over there at the studio, I'm working with this new artist from Brooklyn. Her name is Honey. She's rapping and she's singing. I think she's phenomenal. Y'all gonna see and hear some stuff from her in a minute. I don't know why. It seemed like I'm working with a lot of girls. It just worked out that way. I don't know why. Then there's also my association with Platinum Ice. Big shout out to Tommy Casey and AB.
Shout out to
my
AB.
man. Yeah, AB from Rapping is Fundamental. Those is my days when I used to be in the group. Me
Did
and
AB sing
in jail.
Temptations?
Yes, he did.
He sung Temptations.
Yes, he did. Yeah. My association with Platinum Ice. Big shout out to J. Dot, Miss Quick, over there. We got things we gonna do. I want to send out condolences to Cedric and Cedar for the passing of Eddie Riccio. May you rest in peace, man. We love you. Also, too, there's Noel.
Okay.
This is totally separate. Another something. This is Easy Mo Records.
Okay.
Noel, she's an R&B hip-hop artist that I'm working with. She's based out of California. It's so many different things I'm trying to do right now. And,
So
and the future is in digital.
Okay.
So I'm getting ready to do the whole digital record company thing.
Okay.
You know how people putting their own music out, selling music over iTunes, whatnot, stuff like that. You know, I'm trying to stay ahead of and with that curve right there, because that's where it's going.
So what do you look for? Like you work with the greats, you work with the Jay-Z's, the Kanes, the Bigs, the Pacs. what do you look for in an artist? What do you see in that artist that
Well,
make you say, oh shit?
Well, if they rapping, first of all, you gotta have flow and, you know, cadence. That'll be the bigger word for it. You know, you gotta have cadence, you gotta have some soul in your voice. If you're singing, you definitely gotta have like some soul to you. That's all. It's that simple.
So the people could expect to hear something from you really soon. The
Yeah.
first project you're gonna put out is, are you sure yet?
I think it'll probably be between. Well, Noelle, she already got something out there.
Okay.
She got a single out there, "Do It," and I got remixes to that and everything. You can look for Honey in a quick minute, man.
So for your fans,
J Dot is out there. He got the single with we got Master Killer
okay.
and Capadonna on the single with J Dot. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so for your fans and for your future fans that want to stay in contact with you, that want to follow everything you got going on, get the past history on you, where could they get that information from right now?
Okay, well you can go to, and my publicist Angelo, he always definitely told me to make sure to plug this, because there's a lot of work that's got to be done with that, and me and him, we getting together, we're gonna totally rebuild and graphically really bring that to the level where it's supposed to be. EasyMob.com. Okay,
EasyMob.com.
y'all can go there. You have MySpace, www.myspace.com/EasyMob. Okay.
So that's how y'all could stay in contact with him. This is my, like my big brother. I don't really fuck with too many artists. I don't co-sign nobody.
And I would give my email out, but if I did that, when I go to check it this afternoon,
Yeah.
it'll be like 150 emails. So I'm not gonna do that.
So, but for the up and coming artists that might have some money, and even the artists that might have some money that want to work with you, they could reach you through the MySpace and the How could they get a hold of you?
Oh yeah. Through just hit me up on MySpace.
Okay. So this Doggy Diamonds, I'm here with Easy
You know what? You know what?
He gonna get an email out?
You know what?
Uh-oh. I wouldn't do it. We not listen. Y'all know who it is. Look.
Y'all can leave messages if you want.
Yeah.
EasyMob.com.
EasyMob.com. Leave a message there.
And MySpace is good.
Yeah. This is my homie.
Everybody got MySpace. MySpace is good.
And when y'all see this interview, if you have any questions that you might want to ask him, you might be able to ask me, and I can get them to him too. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna help him a little bit. Or I give him to Angelo and say, yo, Angelo, is a situation. Shout out to Double Exposure too.
Yo,
Shout
I
out
still
to
got that funk, yo.
Yeah, we already know. So
If anybody want that funk,
them hard hitting drums,
yeah, still got the popping snares, all of that.
So we took a lot of y'all time. Thank y'all for watching. This is Doggy Diamonds. I'm here with Easy Mob.
Yeah, we got my man Angelo and Keith
Major.
Majors, and a lot of them over there pacing back and forth because I was only supposed to spend a certain amount of time.
Probably only had 15 minutes, but we
we got to go.
our history is so rich, so we had to talk about a lot of things. So Joe Mo, just let them know they on ForbezDVD.com.
Okay. Yo, this is Easy Mob, and I'm chilling with my man Doggy Diamond. That is Dog, you know what I'm saying, as I know him, on ForbezDVD.com. You know what I mean?